And welcome back to Blunders and Bothwellians. I believe we have an infomercial for y'all.
Have I got the offer for you? If you like risking your life and all of those around you for fun, adventure, and much, much more, I have found just the thing for you. It all takes the price of one soul, which we all have one. And, prizes include wings, wishes, visions, much, much more. Jewels, fancy dresses, books, sex books.
Porn.
And all it takes is the draw of the cards. One risk. Tiny risk. You might lose
Get your hand chopped off.
You might lose the food.
You have wings. You're gonna destroy the world. Yay!
You might lose a foot or summon a deadly monster, but you could also get a castle, wings, all the wishes you'd ever want, and anything else you can dream of.
With all the repercussions that come along with it.
And all it takes is the draw of a card.
Drive a card! End your life! Yay!
Purchase of one card does not mean that you can
buy two and end your friend's life as well.
Post the fine print. One of us can read it.
So yes. Use the cards of chance. You won't regret it. Yay!
Everyone will resent you. But that's okay, because they're gonna die as well! More cards! Yay!
And that concludes our infomercial for today.
I love being the downer in these.
Quick question. Verti.
Yes.
Yep. Could you quickly, and for my own amusement, say you can use the deck today in like your strongest Australian accent?
I don't think I've practiced my Australian accent.
You can do it.
We all believe.
Let me just watch a Steve Irwin video for a second.
I love it. He's too British.
I'm trying to think of all of this in a kid's child's voice. Kill your friends!
So what was it? What was it you wanted to say again? It was
use
deck
your
something.
deck today.
Use your deck today.
Yeah.
Alrighty, mate. You definitely want to use this deck today.
You know what? That wasn't the amusement that I expected, but it was amusing.
Yes, agreed.
Also, I've just told a couple of my D&D friends about the method you used to get through the gates initially, and they were like, that's genius. We wouldn't have thought of this. So, Ragnar Minecrafting for the win!
Wait, someone do this in a Scottish accent. Someone do it with Scottish insults.
If I knew them.
Go watch Pokemon memes. You'll get all you need.
So, you guys have reached the dip, where the slide, sadly, your slide has ended, but there is a little slope that leads you up to what looks like a big wooden trapdoor, which is sort of in, for want of a better word, the ceiling, but it's sort of like a curved, it's like the end of a tunnel, like the dead end of a rabbit warren, so it's sort of like half in what would be wall and half in what would be ceiling. It's sort of a diagonal facing towards you guys. And so, who would like to go first, I guess, for want of a better word?
Wait, what was it we were going through now?
You have found the end of the slide, and you found a big trapdoor, which is in, like, the ceiling.
Okay. I'll open it and take a peek.
Okay. Varric, I'm going to need you to do me a strength check.
I guess I'm not the one taking a peek first.
What did you get?
That's a 2, so plus 2 means 4.
Okay. When you get up to this trapdoor, you notice that it opens outwards, so away from you, so into the room that you would be going into. However, it's not locked. You sort of pull the latch back and you go to shove it open, but you've done something to your elbow. Oh, that really hurt. Oh, you're gonna need to stretch your elbow out for a good few minutes. You've hit your funny bone right on the edge there.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Varric. Oh.
Are you giving it a go, Vitheritas?
Yeah, Vitheritas will go and give it a shot.
It's like, go, yeah, send the paladin in, go. Okay, do me a strength check for Vitheritas.
Let's go back up. That'll actually be a 13.
Okay. Sorry, I got my timer up to make sure we don't run over. You, again, a bit like with the gates when you first tried to open those, you managed to push it, but you've got a lot of resistance from the other side. It is budging just really slowly. You could give it another go, or you could enlist someone to help, but you've got your shoulder into it, and you can see, and there is some light, like dappled bits of light, almost like it's coming through treetops on the other side of this, but you can't quite see through it yet.
Vitheritas will glance across at Varric and go, "Have you finished stretching, or do you need some more?"
Yeah, well spotted. I was just thing out nothing.
Do you want me to heal you?
If you could solve it for me.
So you want me to heal you?
Yes, I guess.
What is the magic word?
Now?
Varric.
Oh no, wait, it was apple pie.
Varric. What are you teaching your child in the future?
Well, probably to take what he wants and give nothing back.
Arisa, do you have nothing to say to this?
That's right, tell mommy.
Arisa is in be right back, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. So she will just be
Okay.
looking at you, tapping her foot on the floor, going...
Varric,
Yes?
say the words.
Thank you?
I guess that will do. And she starts healing his arm, kind of mumbling under her breath about use of her healing powers, but what okay. God, I can beat the freaking universe, I can destroy worlds, and I'm using my freaking magic to heal. How did this become my life? I couldn't go by this planet.
Varric is grinning widely the more lanes.
Yes, I'm cutting this from my contracts. I'm gonna war the others. Yes,
Well-
must support this universe. 001285678.
Maybe this is what we should do for the 50th anniversary. We should just have like 2 hours of Hannibal just complaining.
So Vitheritas is just going to keep shoving against this thing and just sort
Okay.
of glance over his shoulder like, what's with all the whinging?
Ragnar, did you want to help with Vitheritas, as I think everyone else is busy?
Yeah, sure, fuck it. Of course.
So Ragnar wants to pull a card.
No, Ragnar doesn't. Andrew wants to, but Ragnar doesn't.
Well, remember, there's a 60-40% chance that it'll be nice, and only a 10% chance of imminent doom.
Why did you give me those statistics?
Sorry.
Wait a second. You said 60-40 good, 10% doom.
Yes.
This maths doesn't add up. I'm not going to pull a card.
Vitheritas, could you do me a strength check with advantage because you're being helped?
Well, that's good. Let me just send in that fucking dice.
Sin bin, sin bin.
Is it in fact a pull and not a push?
Well, that would be a 13.
Okay. You managed to get it another like half a foot open. And it's getting easier the further it is to open. I'll say the way you're going, it takes you a good 5 minutes of just before you finally manage to wedge it open. As you do so, a lot of gold coins fall. And this trapdoor is sort of slightly at a diagonal, so they're not falling directly onto your head, but they are. Troy! I heard that! Sorry, dog farted. Anyway, from the opposite side of the room, and he didn't even look sorry. And now he's come for cuddles. Oh, for goodness sake, smelly dog. Yes, I love you too.
Has he come for cuddles, or is he trying to get away from the smell?
I know. He just like he does that thing where he like farts, shakes himself, and looks appalled, and looks at you, and it's like, well, it wasn't me, was it? Like, it was quite clearly you. Anyway, so because it's on the diagonal, as you're opening it, it's disturbing a load of gold coins, and a few of them keep dropping, like rolling down the slope towards you guys. But the trapdoor does eventually, after 5 minutes of desperate trying, it opens, and you can see where the dappled light was coming from. And it's a huge pile of gold. This door has opened into what looks like the middle of a vast pile of gold. You cannot see the top. You cannot see the surface of this gold. It is like Scrooge McDuck in his bath. Like, there is so much gold. Yes.
Right. Ragnar's going to pipe up and say, does anybody happen to have a bottomless bag that could be filled with gold?
I thought you were the one getting that one.
Ragnar just shows his small pouch of coins and is just like, it's red. That's the only interesting thing about it, and he just tucks it back in.
It's like,
Hey,
I mean,
you
Have to
saying
get a
that.
handful of coins.
I mean, we could fill our pockets, but you can see dappled light, as I say. You can see dappled light shining through it. So clearly, you are. I would say you can do an investigation check to see how much. Oh, there's a duck in gold. Oh, that's so cute. It's perfect. Oh my god. The top, like the surface of this gold pile, must be within reach because the light from the room beyond is shining through the little chinks of gold, and you can still see bits of light. It's a bit like, oh, I can't say that because that's a giveaway for something later in the campaign. Don't say that. That would be a bad thing to say. Don't say that. Bad DM. It's a bit like when you're at the bottom of a swimming pool and it's quite dark, but when you look up, you can see the light of the surface. So, what would you like to do? I'll add at this point, in case she hasn't come RB and she's still BRB, Arissa with the goggles would still be able to see that there is dust and it's getting thicker. So I expect she will relay this to the rest of you. Or we can just keep adding gifs of ducks striding through gold. That's fine by me. This makes me so happy.
I was lucky to find it, honestly.
It's brilliant. So essentially, you've got one way to go, which is up and through this gold pile. Is anybody going to be brave and go first? Does anyone have any ideas, plans, suggestions, etc., etc.? And no, before you say it, Varric, eating a sandwich does not count as a plan.
Damn it.
Ragnar is going to pick up a handful of the gold, and he's going to shove it in Varric's mouth. And then say, after you.
And I will always just look at the gold and just shrug. I can make it out of thin air.
Vitharsis is going to just turn around and look at Annabelle and go, "What?"
Gold, I mean. Diamonds. Anything of value.
Verti,
Yes, Varric?
how did you expect me to pay for that airship? I mean, that was 1,000,000 gold. I did not have 1,000,000 gold. I did not steal the airship.
No, we
Ragnar's
just
just gonna,
ruined this world's economy for a few years. Okay.
It was only it was only up there that it's.
Vitharsis is currently looking like that gif.
For those millions of viewers listening, it is Brian from Family Guy with his mouth open.
Annabelle will just look at him, lift her hand, palm up, put it palm down, shake her hand, and suddenly gold just starts falling from her skin. And she just shakes her hand.
Ragnar's going to facepalm at the thought of the economy being broken.
Don't add to the problem, Hannibal. You're just adding more gold.
Hey,
Are the
Ragnar.
demons just watching this, by the way? Just what this is normal for them?
Ragnar. Now that we're
What?
talking about things being broken, do you want to fix this next card? That was out loud as well. That was not
Okay,
in your
Varric.
head.
Do you want to hand me that deck?
No.
Then I won't pull a card.
But I'm not giving you away the entire deck.
Give me the whole deck,
No, I'd have to
or I
steal it
won't
again.
pull a card.
Ooh.
I'd have to steal it again. You know what? I'll just pull a card.
Ragnar's gonna throw gold in his face and like, no, you're not pulling a card.
I'm making the motion of pulling a card and quickly stuffing the thing back, the deck box back in the armor, so that it's hidden.
Okay. Are you actually pulling one?
Nope,
Oh.
not yet. Not in this room full of gold.
Who knows? It could go amazingly well for you. But
What
okay.
it's up.
True. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
No, don't do it because the DM complains. But okay, what?
No, I'm doing it because I was already debating it and you convinced me.
You should pull more than one card.
Just
I'm
so
not
that
that
I'm
dumb.
clear, Varric, you're pulling a card. Ragnar, are you stopping him?
Yes.
Okay.
Ragnar will rugby tackle him.
Okay.
In which case, I'm not gonna continue pulling a card because that might risk pulling more than one.
Well, what I was gonna say was that I was gonna roll, and if I roll an odd number, Varric, you touch the card first, and if it's even, then Ragnar, you touch the card first by accident as you rugby tackle him.
You know what? Do it. I'm taking that risk.
Is that both of you saying yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Enthusiastic consent.
Okay. So odd number Varric, even number Ragnar. Ooh. It's an 8. So Ragnar, could you roll me a d20, please, while I get my randomizer out?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hooey. Thank you. This is like the gambler inside is like, yes. Ragnar is happy. Andrew is very happy. 14.
14. Okay. Okay.
Well, just for while this interaction is happening, Annabelle is just gonna look at the two demons, her hands still spitting out gold, and just, is this all your family has?
Bracken's will.
She's waving it, trying to stop it, but it's not stopping, and she's starting to get annoyed with her own hand.
Bracken's will go. And Tiamat will throw a pretend, he'll throw his arm out in front of Bracken's, pretending to hold him back, even though he's not really coming at you. Okay.
Stop it.
Ragnar.
So I don't use it so often.
Ragnar.
Yes.
You rugby tackle Varric to the ground, and as you both hit the deck, which is this before you've climbed into the room? You're still in the tunnel, aren't you? Yes.
You can choose, Ragnar.
I'm gonna say it is because you're gonna have to do a lot of strength checks to get through that gold. So, I'm gonna say yes. So you're sort of by the entrance. So you will fall sort of into this gold pile, which you're at the bottom of. Ragnar, as you, Varric, everything's normal for you. The card disintegrates and you feel nothing.
Wait, it
Ragnar,
shuffles back, right?
huh?
It reshuffles, right?
It reshuffles. It disappears back into it. Like it disintegrates as it goes back into it. Ragnar, as you hit the deck, which is this big pile of gold, you can feel gold coins sort of going ting, ting, ting all around you, and some of them hit you in the face. Ow, I just hit myself in the face doing that. I'm just so enthusiastic about demonstrating. You feel some of them hit you in the face, and you see Varric open his mouth as if to make an exclamation. You do not hear him speak, and you do not hear the noise as you hit the floor.
Oh no. Ragnar's gonna be like, what? What's what
You
happened?
speak. Varric, you hear him saying, what? Ragnar, you cannot hear your own voice. In fact, you cannot hear anything.
Can I?
Ragnar's just gonna like look around and just be like, is there like a sound thing in this gold?
Again, Varric, you can hear everything Ragnar's saying. Ragnar, you can hear nothing. Ragnar, could you roll me a d6, please?
Okie dokie. Let's pick a good d6. Okay, my favourite dice. That's a 6.
Okay. Okay, Ragnar, you are considered deafened, and this will last for 6 days.
Holy crap!
Motherfucker!
No, I did not expect that to happen.
You pulled the hear no card. There is a see no, speak no, and a hear no card.
Uh-oh.
Ragnar's gonna look at the faces of his companions and just take in the looks on their faces.
I'll actually try to cast cantrip message to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, can you hear me now?
You can hear him when he messages you in your head.
Ragnar's response is going to be, yes, I can.
Okay.
Varric.
Yes.
with like a long ... Ragnar can't cast message, so like he's got to wait until Varric responds.
Yes? Question mark.
Did you just make me pull a card? That made me deaf.
No. Technically, I was pulling the card that was going to make me deaf.
Wait, I think I missed something. How are they speaking?
Cantrip message.
Cantrip message.
Ah, okay. Oh, sorry.
Do you have a second? I have something to ask of Larissa. And then I might have a solution for you.
Hello.
Best ever solution is Ragnar's mind response.
What was that?
Ragnar's response to the message is, "You best have a solution."
Of course I have a solution. I always have a solution.
Erissa's probably just watching Varric and Ragnar, just like, you fucking kidding me?
We look like we're in a conversation, but no words are spoken.
Plus, also, you just pulled a fucking card.
Yep.
Erissa's bad. And remember, she still looks like a demon.
I'm not gonna ask Arissa then for the solution. Varric's actually gonna hide. He's gonna hand his ring to Ragnar, and he's going to go, now you can at least talk to Arissa.
Arissa has no idea what's just happened. Because I assume you have this conversation in silence.
Yep, this is completely silenced. This is all inside of his head.
Can Annabelle talk with Tuck inside his head?
Yes.
Okay. She will just look at him and mentally ask him, did you just lose your voice to one of your hearing to one of those cards?
There will be a long mental sigh followed by a yes. Yes, I did.
Annabelle will just nod and turn toward Teresa, and it would seem your future baby daddy has just removed Mr. Duckling's hearing. He cannot hear anything at all.
Arissa is just going to look at Varric and just give him, like the capital L look.
Varric is going to try and move away from it.
Annabelle will again speak to Ducky. If you wish to speak, you can always just talk in your mind and I will hear you.
I can speak out loud, don't worry. It's just the hearing that is an issue. Thank you very much for being more helpful than Varric.
I can imagine whenever Ragnar tries to speak now, he's just shouting because he can't hear how loud he is.
You can speak a little lower. She will move her hand from her up over her head to around her chest area and just down a bit.
Ragnar will nod. Ragnar will then slap Varric.
At which point the therapist is going to look from Varric to Ragnar to Varric and then just go, is this the curse?
I fear it might be. I'm sorry. I was trying to pull a card for myself, but it looks like he saved me. Oh, thank you for that, Ragnar.
Ragnar, you have no idea what they're saying.
I'll very obviously turn to Ragnar and mouth, thank you.
Ragnar,
Has he put on the ring?
Yeah, Ragnar has. But he will speak out loud to Varric, shouting. You're not sure whether it's on purpose. He'll say, you owe me one, and we'll slap him around the head again.
Arissa will message him through the ring, just like, thank you for slapping him. I think she's kind of got the gist.
Okay.
So Therapist is going to walk on over and look at Ragnar for a bit and concentrate. And then he's just going to reach out and touch him and cast Remove Curse to see if it works.
Okay. What level Remove Curse?
That'll be a level 2.
Okay. You know what? I will. In fact, you know what? You can seal your own fate. The Theratas, can you roll me a d6?
That'll be a 5.
Okay. Okay. The Theratas, you sense this curse. It's almost like a magic version of an X-ray. You can feel this curse and it's pulsing around Ragnar's ears, and you concentrate on it and you use all of your divine sense to draw it back as much as you can, and you feel most of it start to disappear as you cast, but you just can't quite get the last bit of it. Ragnar, you are now only deafened for 1 day. So after your next long rest, you will wake up and you will be able to hear again. That doesn't mean if you go to sleep now it will work.
I was just thinking that.
Oh, nicely done, Bertie. You removed quite a bit of it.
And then he's going to turn around, ignoring Annabelle, and look at Varric. Considering where we are right now, can we limit me having to remove curses every couple of minutes? He's going to gesture towards Apricity. I kind of need it for other purposes.
Of course, I never intended for, him to get that card. I was bugging him about pulling a card, but he didn't want to, so I didn't want to force him and try to pull one for myself. Then he decided to rugby tackle me.
Varric, it doesn't matter who took the card, who wanted to take the card, who didn't. The matter is, you should not have those cards.
Oh, yes, I should. I very much should.
Arissa will turn her gaze again to Varric and, oh no, you shouldn't.
I'm gonna put the deck back between the chest armor and his chest. And then I'm gonna...
Sorry.
Then I'm gonna promise everybody not to pull another card while we're down here. Unless specifically asked by at least 2 partners that are not Varric.
Ragnar is going to assume that everyone's... Sorry.
Yes, Ragnar?
Ragnar's going to assume that everyone is berating Varric and will loudly exclaim, "What they said."
Annabelle will then remember something and walk to little duckling. And she will just, poke him right between the eyes, just once. And he's gonna see red for just a little second. And he may probably ask her what just happened. She will explain, this is for when we are hearing danger. Since you cannot hear it yourself, every time we hear something suspicious, you will see everything in red. It's as best as I can do at the moment.
Thank you very much for the assistance. A very good idea.
Spatharthus is just going to shake his head and then look up at the giant pile of gold stuff and go, well, we best get going, shall we? We've faffed about long enough.
Rosie?
Yes.
In response to all this, Varric is going to try to anything cooler than just gold coins to give to the ducky as a way to apologize.
Was that you're going to give him a lot of gold coins that you can pick up?
I'm going to try and see if there's anything other than coins.
Okay. Well, first off, you guys are going to need to make your way through the gold pile.
Oh yeah, true.
You've sort of started moving your way through it. Could everybody do me a strength check? Not a save, just a check.
Is that for the Panthers as well?
Yes. This is to move your way up through the gold pile to see how long it's going to take you. And I will do it for these 2 as well. And I will do... Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to do in front of Navigne because she's just going to sort of do her... Oh, yeah. Navigne will be alright. Although, you guys will notice, particularly Ragnar, if you're very close to Navigne, all of the coins that she slithers her way through get rather hot to the touch, and you may want to avoid touching the ones that are in her path. Okay.
Rosie, do I roll 1 for 4 Panthers or 4 as in 1 per Panther?
I don't mind. You can do all 4, or you can do 1 for all of them.
I'd like to do 1 for all of them, so I'll roll 4 at the same time.
Okie doke.
Okay, that Panther is fucked. That Panther might be okay. The others are pretty decent, I guess.
Okay. Right, give me 1 sec. Stay. Wait. Right. I have my list of all the things now. Alright, everyone so far is doing okay. Alright, yeah. Within about 10 minutes, you all managed to shove your way through this huge pile of gold. You hadn't really considered the true weight of gold until you were at the bottom of a pile of it. When you come to the top, you look around and see a room. It was probably once quite impressive, but now it is full of bits of ceiling and chunks of stone and all sorts of different things from where the ceiling and walls have started to collapse and fall in. But it's a vast room full of gold and various different items that are twinkling and shining. And as you guys look around, you can see lots and lots and lots of things. Can you summon a portal back to the vault in the Carnal Keep?
Obviously not in character.
Okay, so get up through file. Okay. Alright, so essentially you've got a massive room. Occasionally you hear shudders from the ceiling above, and you can tell that like the ceiling is holding, but lots of it has fallen down. There's one big corner of the room that you can't get to anymore. The gold has been covered in rocks and bits of the ceiling, but the rest of it seems to be fairly sturdy, and you can see I'll get my list out actually. So you can see there's gold everywhere. A few bits of silver, but it's mostly gold all over the place. There is the huge pile you just pulled yourselves out of. The floor, everywhere you walk, is covered in gold. Some of it is just like loose coins across what's it like a dark stone floor. Other bits are huge mounds that you have to shove your way through. But there is gold pretty much everywhere. And you can see various different items that seem to be scattered about in this hoard. Some of it looks like weaponry, some of it looks like armor, some of it looks like you can't quite make out. They're in like little cases that have been knocked over. It all looks, if you didn't know that the whole place had been collapsed and you were just looking at this one half of the room, it almost looks like it's been rifled through, but you can tell from the way everything's been shaken about that everything's just been thrown all over the place. So, could everybody do me an individual perception check? And if there is anything particular you would like to look for, can you let me know that as well?
I'd like to look for things that would seem interesting to Varric, like a better bow, like a bow, quiver, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also like to look for anything that might seem to Varric like it would be useful for Ragnar.
Okay.
Could I also tell the Panthers to look around?
Mm-hmm, you can do. What would you like them to look for?
Basically the same description.
Okie dokie. Okay, Hannibal, 17. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just having a look around?
She's mainly looking for magical items and poisonous items. Anything that can control, has magic, or can kill a person with a touch.
Okay. Okay, is anyone else looking for anything in particular as you're looking around? Or not necessarily item specific, but any like themes such as weaponry, clothing, jewelry, anything you can think of.
Well, Therapist is going to be initially just looking for the item that they're actually there for, but he'll be keeping it out for something like a shield.
Okie dokie.
Preferably a big one.
Okay.
Oh, could I actually have the Panthers look for anything that could be interesting to anyone in the party?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to go through these in order. Rick, Hannibal. Let's see. And Arissa. Arissa, are you looking for anything in particular?
No.
Okay. And Ragnar, same question. Although he has blocked, so he'll be back. Okay. So, I'll go down first. Varric. You don't find a quiver or a bow, but you do find lots of arrows. They seem to have been thrown in bundles, perhaps taken from people, perhaps robbed or stolen. Most of them look a little rusty, but they are usable, undamaged. You see piles. They all look quite similar. They're all made of similar materials with the metal tip and wooden. However, they have different coloured feathers on the end. How many have you got in your quiver at the moment? Trying to work out how many more you can carry.
I'll take a look. The quiver had currently 45 arrows in it.
Okay.
But I have a secondary quiver that all...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Which Rido is carrying for me.
That is fine. Okay, in which case I'm going to say you can have an extra 20.
Awesome, so that makes 110 total.
Varric, you have a choice. You can see arrows that have white feather tips, some that have gold feather tips, some that have red, and some that have green. You can probably carry 20 in total. You can find quite a few scattered around, so I will let you decide how many you would like of each, or if you want them all of one colour, etc, etc.
5 of each. There's 4 colours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like 5 of each.
Okay. I will let you know what those do later. Your panthers find something as well. I'm loving the gif of just this kid shooting himself in the eye.
I actually love the ending of the movie where he just goes to the camera going, ah, ah. Like, it's hilarious.
Your panthers find something that seems to be intriguing them, and they're all sort of gathered round, and they're sort of snorting and scraping at the gold, and they're listening to something, and they all seem to be fairly intent on this one particular thing.
Okay, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna try and get the particular thing.
Okay, as you get there, your hour will come to an end, so after you have achieved this, they will all slowly disappear. But the item they were all scratching around is a small sort of leather, metal and wood embroidered and engraved little box. It's probably about the length of a ruler, so about 30 centimeters long, maybe 10 wide, maybe 10 deep, and it's got a little latch it will open.
Could I try to open it?
You can do. It opens, there's a little latch, it opens, and as you open it, you hear a sort of, and you see inside there's a little figure. It looks like about the size of your finger, and it's on a little spring, and the figure is actually of what looks like a knight next to a princess. The princess is engraved but coming out of the lid of the box inside, and the knight looks like he's on a little spring and he's going where the spring has slowly wound to a halt, and if you flip the box over you feel with your fingers that there is a little sort of key that you can use to wind it up.
Okay, I'm gonna close it, like, carefully. I'm gonna head to Ragnar, and I'm gonna cantrip message him to explain that I got him this to apologize, but maybe it's a good idea that I wait until he's back for that, because I just realized he's gone.
That's fine. That's fine. I will jump to my next on the list, which was Hannibal. You were looking for poisons and things?
Yes.
Okay. You find something very interesting. You find loads of cages all over the place in one particular corner of the room. It looks as if they had been hanging off walls and standing on stands. Inside, you can find loads of tiny little bodies of dead creatures. These look like pixies and like sort of tiny little woodland creatures. And in with them, you can tell with your sort of magic-y looking gaze, a lot of them have either poisonous blood. So if you essentially squeezed them, you could probably milk all of the blood out of them and get it into a bottle. And a lot of them also had tiny little vials of poison on them as well. So you can collect, there's 6 of them. 6 pixies which have poison blood. And there are 10 vials of poison, but they are tiny. So these vials of poison are about the size of maybe your thumbnail. You can tell the poison would be strong enough to kill another pixie, but maybe not a full human-sized human. But if you put all 10 of them together, they'd probably be able to do some damage.
Okay, but the potions are made from the blood of the pixies?
The potions themselves are just, they're lighting up for you as poison. But as you look at the pixies, you can tell from the breed and the way that, like, as you're looking specifically for poison, and given how magical you are, you can tell that 6 of the pixies actually have poison blood. It's like a poison toad, when if they get eaten, they will poison the person who eats them. So you can tell that these dead pixies have poison blood. If you were to in some way siphon the blood from them, you could probably get 3 vials of poison out of the 6 of these.
I see. And how many can I take?
You could, if you want to sit there, if you want to spend some time, you can probably find you've probably got vials. I'm not gonna lie, Hannibal, you've probably got vials on you for just this kind of purpose.
I do, but you're restricting the amount I can get, so I'm asking.
So if you want to spend some time, you could spend sort of maybe 15 minutes. You could get 3 vials of poison by essentially cutting the pixies and squeezing their blood into the vials. If you wanted to take all 10 mini vials they've got, that would probably top you up to an extra 1, so you'd have 4 vials total.
I shall do that.
4 vials.
So total. You guys are going to just watch Hannibal kill little fairies thingies for the next 15 minutes.
And squeeze the blood out of them.
Yes.
Wonderful.
They probably are tittering in terror as soon as she sees them and her eyes go wide and, oh, hello, my little pretties.
And she starts just like shoving her way through the gold pile to get to these little... I love it. The Theratas, you are next on my list. Now you said you were looking for a shield.
Yep.
Yes, you find one. And as you get closer to it, and you said you wanted a big one, how big were you thinking?
Let's see if I can find a picture of it quickly. That'll do. Certainly along the lines of that.
Okay. So you want it to be like maybe up to your shoulder kind of height?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, in which case, yes, you do find Annabelle just being, I'll get you, my pretty. I love it. That's the best gift, and that is the most appropriate for the moment. Yes, for Theratas, you find one of those. It is quite dark red with gold detailing all around it. It doesn't quite look demonic because it has just been sort of thrown down here. It looks as if maybe it was used by someone who came down here and maybe didn't make it out again. But it is, as you get closer as well, it almost seems to get bigger before your eyes as you pull it out of the rest of the gold pile it was in, and you sort of stand it up, and if you rest it on the gold, it does come up to just below your shoulder, and it's sort of one big square with rounded off edges.
He'll size it up and have a good look, and then he'll pick it up.
Okay. You pick it up. It is a little heavier than the one you're used to, but you pick it up with ease. You move it around a bit. You can, there's still straps on it. You might need to repair one of the straps, which is fraying a little bit, but that will probably take you in half an evening by a campfire. And you can move it. You can move with it. You can lift it up. Seems to fit you fairly well.
Yep, you'll just sling his current shield onto his back and carry this one, and continue walking around looking for the shard.
Okay. And up next we have Arissa. Is she back with us? No, I think she's BRBing. That's fine. And Ragnar has did you say lost his internet? I think
I believe.
I think he might have done, but that's okay because
he said BRB and disappeared like within an instant after that.
Yeah, I think he might have dropped, but that's okay because in theory we could leave it somewhere in the next 5 minutes because as Arissa looks around, Varric or someone, could you just tag her to let her know?
What do you want us to let her know?
Just chuck in this chat that you're looking through the goggles and can't see the shard. Just and say we'll probably end in the next 5 minutes as well. So Arissa looks around and will, I assume, as she always does, be communicating this to the rest of you. She's looking around. There's loads of dust, and it is fairly concentrated in one particular area, but no matter how much you dig, the shard isn't there. And every time Arissa sort of looks around with the goggles, the intenseness of the dust seems to disperse. And from what you have seen of the shard itself and the way that the dust has hung on like the wounds in Tiavat's palms, it seems like this is definitely where the shard was, but it is no longer here.
Something like that.
Hey! Awesome. Thank you very much. I don't want to type too much because it sounds on the recording my end. So yeah, Arissa will report to all of you, and you can help her dig through if you like, particularly with Theratas. I know you were going to help her. And yeah, she'll say that there is dust here, but it's dispersing, and the shard is gone. Thank you. You also reported this to us. Thank you very much. So
just to keep it complete.
Is there anything any of you would like to do, say, suggest?
Well, I just googled fairy blood, and well, I just found a video where it's pretty much a guy like capturing a fairy, and they need her juices from a different place because it's for a potion, and he pretty much fucks her with a mushroom. I'm going to save this video. You will watch at your discretion until the end.
I love Googling rabbit holes. This is amazing.
I swear to
Anime
God,
fairy
never disappoints.
Oh, wow.
How did I end up here?
I'll
what?
be watching that.
What the fuck am I looking at?
I'm dying.
Oh, and
That's
that,
one way to get potion.
and that is my alarm to say that the recording should end because otherwise it's going to run over. So, on that glorious note, I will leave you, but I will say one last thing. Sorry, is that Arissa catch up?
Wait, oh, well, that's a bit shit.
I have not watched whatever the spank wire thing is.
Good.
I'm not
Let's
sure.
say I was looking for fairy blood, and it's like removing fairy blood on the internet to see if something came up, and this is what came up, so yeah.
Well, now I know what not to Google.
Yeah,
No,
don't Google. Don't Google fairy stuff.
Just before we end, Arissa, basically, you've all been looking around at various different things. If there's anything you'd like to look for, I will add that in next week as well. However, you looked for the shard, you saw a big cloud of where the dust was, and you, with the help of a Theratas, started digging through for it. Brakens is swanning around. He's left the dress on, but he's taken off some of the makeup and the wig as he's looking around, and he's picking up various items. He's found like a crown he's trying on, and the wig's in the way, so he's sort of putting this crown on like, and he's trying on like necklaces and things on Tiamat as well. However, the more you guys dig, you can't find this shard, and the dust is starting to disperse. And from everything you have gathered in your knowledge of the shard so far, this is where it was, but it is no longer here. The shard is
Great.
gone.
I repeat myself. That's a bit shit.
And
That's
just,
easy.
I will leave you on the marvellous note that just as you come to this realisation and share it with the party, except presumably Ragnar, who's like, huh? You hear a loud noise, and you all look around and you see a huge wave of gold come hurtling towards you as a massive group of demons come through a blasted section of the wall, and they are kicking their way and flying their way through this gold pile towards you. And several of them are shouting things like intruders and get away from our gold. And then they all stop and they recognise Brakens.
Dun dun dun.
And I will have next session, you'll all have to roll your initiatives because they're about to attack you. But I will. Brakens is going to be holding a tiara in his hand, about to try it on, and oh shit, and just drop the tiara as they all arrive. And anyone who has any suggestions for how we can do episode 50 to be extra magically special, throw them my way. For now, however, I will close that, and I had to go all the way out and get my notebook on the card. Why do I ever leave my notebook with the cards of chance in another room? I should know better than that by now. Best gift ever. So I will say I will see you all in, I believe next week is a go, so it should be next week. And yes, I will talk to you about various different things in the next week. So thank you for coming in, you guys. I love you all very much. You can all go to bed and go to sleep and do various things, etc. And you can all shout Tatty Bear to the recording as I'm about to turn it off. So
Shout out what? Sorry?
to Tatty Bear, or goodbye. Goodbye to the recording, however you would like to say farewell to the recording, because I'm going to turn it off. So thank you for listening.
Teddy Bear, and I was a little confused.
Oh, you can say Teddy Bear. We say Tatty Bear, but you can say Teddy Bear. It's fine.
Oh, Tatty Bear. Okay.
It's very English. Don't even question it at this point.
I'm not
Hey, that's
questioning
what
it.
I'm doing.
So thank you for listening to all our millions and millions of watchers, and I expect we shall speak to you and see you all very soon. So Tatty Bear, goodbye forever. Ah!
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
Teddy bear.